So we are going to start lying down. Always a really nice place to begin. And take a long body stretch. So your arms overhead, point your toes forward if you can. Get as long as you can here. So like you're reaching in both directions. Stretch everything out here. Take a full breath in, get even longer. And a full breath out to take your arms down along your sides. And I want you to just then roll your ankles, wiggle your toes, flip your palms up, and then start to notice what happens to the head of your shoulders here, and how in turn, as we start to open the palms facing forward or facing up, rather, the collarbones expand and get a little bit wider, broader, right? And then keep that openness in your chest. Bring your hands to your belly. Start to bend your knees and plant your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart, and knock your knees closer together. If that feels okay for your low back, maybe it's like heaven, right? Your low back starts to press into the ground. For some people, it's a little bit too much pressure on the tailbone or on the sacrum. If that's the case, just separate the knees, find what's comfortable. And if you'd like to, you can close your eyes just so you start to settle into this moment, the here, the now. And can you observe your breath just by noticing the space right underneath your hands? Gently rise and fall. Again, take a breath in with intention. Maybe this time you open up your mouth and let a slow exhale out. If you need to, or if that felt really good, do that a few more times on your own. You're letting that inhale just get a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. And then your exhale feels a little bit longer, but it includes a little bit more release or softening. Take as many as you need, of course. Whenever you're ready, take your arms out like goalposts, if that feels okay. And if that's a little too much, just take your arms out like a T, but flip your palms up towards the sky so you keep that space across your chest nice and broad. And then separate the knees if they're not already there, and let both knees fall over to the right. So just a gentle twist here. Now, if you separate the feet a little wider apart, you might start to notice a little bit of a stretch in the left quad. So that might feel really nice if you're a little tight there. Just enough to feel sensation. And then when you're ready, inhale back up through center. You'll readjust the feet and then let both knees fall over to the left. Maybe wiggle walk that right foot a little wider out towards the right to feel that stretch. And inhale back up through center. Hug your right knee into your chest. And then again, roll out that ankle, fan out the toes. Maybe feel a little like crack, pop, whatever it is. I've got all of it happening. And then start to send your right foot up towards the sky. Maybe grab behind your leg here. You can interlace the fingers for more stability. And you don't have to straighten the leg all the way either. You can start to soften that right knee. And I'd actually rather you do that. So then you start to think about that hinge of your right hip here. And you hinge maybe just a little bit deeper. So it's less about where your foot ends up, right? It's more about where your thigh bone ends up. And then if you want to, again, roll the ankle, fan out the toes. Take a breath in right here. And then create that figure four. So start to cross your right ankle right below your left knee. And then again, your arms can come out like that T if you want. Let the sole of your right foot drop over to the left. So it's a little bit deeper of a twist, different sensation. And you might even look over to your right fingertips. Stay here for a round of breath. Don't forget that long inhale. Ease on your exhale. And then you'll come back through center and then just release that right foot down next to the left. Hug your left knee in. Twirl the ankle, fan out the toes. And then send that left heel up towards the sky. Again, grab behind the leg. You can soften the knee. And as you draw that knee almost closer towards your face, not like they have to touch, right? The back of your head stays on the ground. Then you can start to roll the ankle again. Fan out the toes. One more big breath in right here. Feel the back of your leg get a little bit longer. And then you'll make that figure four. So drive that left knee forward just a bit. Arms out like a T. Let that left foot drop over to the right. Maybe look to your left fingertips. And stay here, full breath in. Long breath out. And you'll slowly come back up to center. Drop that left foot down. One more long body stretch here. So take your arms overhead, point your toes forward. So nice. And start to bend your knees. You'll just roll to the side and press yourself up and find an easy seat. So one shin or one ankle in front of the other. Have your block towards the top of your mat. Have it handy nearby. Grab onto your knees, sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in here. Start to lift your face, lift your chin up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, start to bring your chin to your chest. But I want you to start to round your upper back, almost lean away from your feet. And almost like cat in the spine here. So you get that like nice juicy stretch maybe between your shoulder blades. And then inhale, come back up through center. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Draw them back. So now you engage that space in between your shoulder blades. And then let the shoulder heads drop. Do that one more time. Squeeze them up. Squeeze them back. Let them fall. And then just take a nice easy roll. Find neutral as you sit up nice and tall. Full breath in. Open your mouth, a nice sigh out. Awesome. Now take your block. I want you to place it on the, almost like the medium setting right in front of you. You're going to take your hands and sandwich that block. And when you have that block, I want you to like press into that block with your palms and then spread your fingers nice and wide apart. Okay. And then take that block forward right in front of you. So your arms can be long, but your elbows are soft. Try not to lock out the arms. I want you to lift that block up and overhead. You're going to ask the shoulders to do a little bit of work as you press into that block, even if it's lightly, right? If that feels okay, go all the way up. And then as you exhale, bring it back down in front of you, in front of your face. You're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale up and exhale forward. Last one. Breathe in and out. So nice. Now place that block off to the side. Don't worry, we'll come back to that in a bit. You're going to swing your legs around, find tabletop pose. So spread your fingers nice and wide under your shoulders. Maybe even tuck your toes under for stability. Take a breath in, start to drop the belly down, but lift the chin, lift the face up. Finding cow pose, and then press into your hands, round your back high, drop your chin towards your chest, cat pose. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. 1 more round on your own. And then come back to neutral. Start to take lateral movement side to side. And then you'll start to walk your hands up your thighs and just rise up onto your knees here. Sweep your arms out and up overhead. Big breath in to reach up. And then hook your thumbs together overhead. Take your elbows wide. And again, lift your chin, lift your face just a little bit. Doesn't have to be all the way up. No straining here. Just 1 more breath in to open up. And then exhale. Whoop, release your hands back down. Start to send your right leg behind you. Maybe let it float. Creating a little bit more stability in the core here. And then start to drop your right toes towards the ground, but tuck them under. You're going to press back through your right heel. Should feel nice. That stretch in the calf. Awesome. And then spin your right heel down. I want you to bring that block underneath your left hand on the lowest setting. And then start to reach your right arm up. You're facing the long edge of your mat. And reach your right hand forward to create that space along the right side. Now rise all the way up, arms out like a T. And drop your right hand down, left arm will rise. Gate pose. So nice. And then come back up. Drop the left hand down to that block. And then this time, pick your right leg up. Maybe reach the right hand forward. So it's like this version of side plank, but you have your left knee down. So strong here. Take 1 more breath in. So nice. Drop your right foot down on the ground. Drop your right hand down. Come back to that 3-legged tabletop. You can move that block off to the side and step your right foot outside your right hand. You can go walk it there. Now you can bring your hands back onto that block, both of them. I like the medium setting here. If you have 2 blocks, maybe they come to the highest, 1 under each hand for support in lizard pose. So you're going to rock your hips forward, maybe lift your chin and lift your face. And then as you exhale, pull your hips back and then pick your right toes up. This is where, as you start to shift your right hip back in space, think of that hinge again. It's just a different orientation, right? We're not on our back, we're on our feet and our knee, I guess. And so as you send that right hip back, think of that hinge to find that stretch in the back of the leg. So it's not about how straight your leg is. It's just about that angle. And then rock back forward. Start to wiggle walk that right foot in a bit, just for support. You're going to take your hands back onto the sides of that block and lift it up overhead. So we're going to add a little bit more on to what we did before. You're going to take an inhale up overhead, keep it where it is, pressing into that block. And then as you exhale, I want you to bend your elbows 90 degrees. So that block comes behind you. Yeah, turns a different part of the shoulders on. If you press into that block a little bit more, you'll create more tension, that isometric sort of movement here. And then as you inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, bring it forward in front of your face. Whew. Do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Drop it back. Inhale it up. Exhale it forward. 1 more. Inhale up. Drop it back. Inhale it up. Exhale, bring it down inside your foot. So nice. Now tuck your back toes, lift that knee, give it a break, and just step your left foot up to meet your right, but heel toe your feet nice and wide. Bend your knees a lot. Fold forward. So let this be a moment where you let gravity do some work. If you feel like that's way too much, bring your hands to those blocks, and you can either look forward so your head isn't like so heavy here, but you're still in a fold. Take a full inhale. Soften your knees more on the exhale. Bend your knees even more. Slowly stand all the way up to mountain pose. Now shrug your shoulders on the inhale. Draw them back, squeeze the shoulder blades, and let them fall down. Do that 1 more time. Draw them up, back, down. And then like you did when you were laying down on your back, flip your palms forward. Notice what that does to that space across your heart. Take a breath in to land just as you are. So nice. And then bring your hands together at your heart. Shift your weight into your left foot here. And you can bring your right foot either to your ankle, to your inner calf, or your inner thigh, finding tree pose. Now, if you feel like you are like really wobbly today, you can bring your right big toe to the ground. Maybe even the ball of your foot here to the ground. And you land right here. If you wanted added challenge, something fun, you can step up onto your block with that left foot. Find a steady point in front of you, no matter where you are. And you reconnect with your breath. So full breath in. Long exhale out. See if you can soften your shoulders, soften your face. If you're holding tension anywhere, soften it, let it go. Maybe reach the arms up, look up, 1 more breath in. And release down. Step both feet on the ground. Now, take a little fun movement here to just like rinse things out. Almost like helicopter your arms side to side. I think that's kind of the term. I don't even know if there is a term in my mind. It feels like a helicopter. Hopefully a helicopter would not actually move this way, but it feels good in the shoulders. So just let things kind of sway side to side and come to a slowing down enough to land back in neutral, mountain pose. Palms forward right away, chest broad, inhale through your nose. Open up your mouth, maybe even like a sigh, a reminder to not take yourself so seriously. And then reach your hands up on the inhale. And when you're ready, fold forward. Maybe hands come through your heart center. Softly bend your knees. Halfway lift, hands to your shins or to your thighs. And then you'll place your hands down downward facing dog. So one of only 2 down dogs. Bend your knees a lot here. Soften the elbows. Create space in the neck. And then you'll inhale, rise up to your toes. And on your exhale, drop your knees back to tabletop pose. Believe it or not, we have all of that on the other side. So inhale, lift the heart, lift the face into cow pose, and then exhale, press into your hands, round your back, drop your head, cat pose. Take 2 more on your own. So inhaling and exhaling. Don't be afraid to move slowly. I feel like we can do actually more work, both strengthening and stretching, when we move slower. Start to take neutral spine here. Your left leg will come back behind you. And start to tuck your left toes onto the ground. Press back through your left heel. Get that stretch in the calf. And take that block underneath your right hand and spin your left heel down. Left arm will rise. You'll open up and reach your left hand forward. So this time you're finding the stretch through the left side. And then you'll rise up, arms out like a T. Drop your left hand down, right arm reaches up to the sky, gate pose. Arms coming back out like a T, so nice. And then you'll cartwheel your hands down. Take that the block off to the right. Pick the left leg back up. So that 3-legged dog here, or not 3-legged dog, rather 3-legged table. Awesome. And then drop your left knee back down to the right, tabletop pose. Start to walk your hands up your thighs. You'll rise up onto your knees. Reach your arms all the way out and up. Take a breath in, hook thumbs overhead, elbows wide, lift the face. So nice. And then you'll walk your hands back to that tabletop pose. Now come right back into it. Your left leg goes behind you. I knew I'd missed something somewhere. Really wanted that like heart opener. Step your left foot outside your left hand. Now that block comes underneath both hands, or 2 blocks one under each. Start to just come into that lizard pose. Rock the hips forward, lift the chest, lift the face. Beautiful. And then pull your hips back, pick the left toes up. Just a little. Pulling the left hip back. This is either like your most favorite pose, or you're like, I can't wait till it's done. Or it's a benign pose and you're like, okay, it's fine. I'm just in it and I have my breath. But whatever comes up, I want you to just notice it. They say the poses you don't love so much are the ones that you probably need a little more time in. And then you come back forward. Start to tuck the back toes, lift the knee. You've spent a lot of time there. And you'll step your right foot forward, separate the feet nice and wide. You can keep that block under your hands, halfway lift here first. And then soften your knees a lot. So I want you to then take your hands off that block, walk your hands slowly up your thighs and see if you can keep your spine nice and long as you do so. And then heel toe your feet underneath your hips. Shrug your shoulders on the inhale. Squeeze them back. We'll let them drop down. One more like that. Draw them up. Back. Down. Flip your palms forward for a moment. Take this just like a moment on 2 feet before you start to balance here. So nice. And then you'll shift weight into that right foot and you come into tree pose. Your hands can come to your heart. Gaze can be forward. Maybe you want an added challenge and you step up onto that block. And then soften something here. Reconnect with your breath. For 3, 2, maybe reach your hands up overhead. Last one. And then release it. Push that block off to the side. Take your feet nice and wide. Soften your knees, a little bend or a bounce. And then again, just like let the arms kind of sway side to side. A little bit of a twist. And then start to slow the arms down. Coming to center, heel to the feet a little bit closer, just a little closer. Palms forward right away, strong mountain pose. Full breath in. Long breath out. Reach your arms up and overhead, nice long body stretch here. And then hands to your heart, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Take a halfway lift. Awesome. And then take your hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. You'll rise up to your toes. Drop your knees back down. Tabletop pose. Start to drop the belly, lift the chest. On the inhale, find cow pose. And then exhale, press into your hands, round your back. Cat pose. One more time. Nice. And then grab that block. You're going to keep it in between your hands as you rise up onto your knees. One more time because we forgot it on the left side. Take that block in between your hands, right in front of your face. Spread the fingers wide. Reach up overhead on the inhale. Bend the elbows. Let that block drop back. See if you can keep the elbows hugging in rather than drawing out to the sides. And then lift it up. Bring it forward. Just one more time. Inhale up. Drop it back. Bring it up. So nice. And then drop it off to the side. You're going to come into a seat. Swing your legs out in front of you. Give yourself a little love here. And then bring the soles of your feet together. You can grab onto your shins, grab onto your ankles, sit up nice and tall on the inhale. And then think about your heart leading forward. Let this be full of ease. So you don't have to like push into it at all. And let your head, the weight of your head maybe drop. Just so you can feel a little bit of length in the low back. And if this feels like a lot, maybe slide your feet further out in front of you. One more full breath in. And out. You'll slowly start to sit up. Take your legs out in front of you. Make sure there's nothing behind you, but also grab the props that you know you'll want to relax with. Have them close by. And you'll slowly roll all the way down to your back. Your arms come nice and long. Your toes point forward. Maybe again, a little roll of the ankles, a wiggle of the toes. And if you want, bend your knees, plant your feet. One last active pose here. Arms down along your sides. Lift your seat up. Just one bridge. You're here just for 5. And if you want to slide that block underneath your low back, you can. Only here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release back down. Hug your knees towards your chest. Take them a little wider apart. Let your low back press down. Maybe take both legs up to the sky here. Roll ankles, fan out toes. And bend your knees. Release your feet down. Maybe slide them forward. Take any props underneath you that you'd like. Maybe it's that pillow or bolster under your knees or block under your head, if that makes sense. And see if as you lie your arms or let your arms just like fall down along your sides, you flip your palms up, right? See if you can think about lifting your chest up a bit. Let the shoulders come underneath you a little bit more. Not so much that they're squeezing together, right? But just drawing them underneath you. So then you can feel that expansion across the collarbones. And then that ease in the neck, ease in the face. Arms can stay where they are. If it feels more grounding to bring your hands to your torso, take that. You can close your eyes if it feels okay. See if you can give yourself that permission to stay in this present moment. If your mind drifts without judgment, just bring it back. To that rise and fall of your breath. And take a breath in. Slow exhale out. Maybe one more like that. And start to bend your knees again. Moving as slow as you can, right? Maybe even keeping your eyes closed. Let your knees fall over to the right. Pause there. Or the left, whatever you need. And you'll slowly press yourself up to find a seat. Maybe take a moment to also notice maybe if something has shifted, right, from when you first stepped onto your mat or rolled it out. Just observe that. Bring your hands together, remembering that no effort is ever wasted. So honor yourself for creating space in your day. And then create a little more space in your breath right here. Fill it all the way up. Open your mouth, slow exhale out. And even bring your thumb tips to the center of your forehead. Lift your chin, lift your face. Namaste.